Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at the Heinkel 162. And some of you might now think, wait a sec, didn't you already do a video about the 162? Yes I did. And you're doing another one right now. Yes I do. Well, has anything changed about the 162? Nope, not a single thing. So is this just a cheap excuse to do another 162 video? Yes, it absolutely is. Because I absolutely love the Heinkel 162. And in my opinion, this is the best jet in War Thunder. I absolutely adore the 162. There are jets that are faster, better armed, more maneuverable, but none combine the fun factor the 162 brings with it. It is incredibly fast for its BR, fairly maneuverable, and yeah, this combination basically makes the 162 in the hands of an experienced pilot practically untouchable. At 6.0 there's virtually nothing that can catch it. If you get into up tiers, there are some aircraft that can catch the 162, but then again the 162 is just maneuverable enough that it can just evade those or even out dogfight them. That said, the 162 is not an aircraft you ever want to dogfight with. Certainly not against propeller driven aircraft, which are the type of enemy you will face the most, because it sits at 6.0. It sees lots of down tiers. In my opinion, this thing could even sit at 6.3 because it is just that good, but keep it at 6.0. I don't mind at all. I really love this thing. Unfortunately, I have seen many other pilots on YouTube or in the forums claim the 162 to be bad, and I couldn't disagree more. The 162 does require discipline and a cool head, because, well, let's put it this way: I see a lot of people panicking when they are on the 162 and somebody is behind them or is making a dive on them. They try to dogfight, to turn, and this is something you just shouldn't do. This is an aircraft that absolutely lives and dies by its speed and altitude. You should always maintain at least 600 km per hour and at least 1,500 meters of altitude. And you will see why. Anyways, I'm making my first approach here. Bunch of LA9 and a J21 down low. Go for the pair of LA9s. I've already built up over 700 km per hour. Going for that closer LA9. He notices me, but way too late, and I knock him out. And look at the speed I'm going already. Right now there is nothing that can catch me. Look how easily we pull up to that J21, which is another jet, by the way. We're getting as close as possible to conserve ammunition, using the stealth belts, get some good hits in, set him on fire, and we are pulling out. He does get around into me, but yeah, nothing serious. Throw off his aim, and look at the speed we are going. 730 km per hour down on the deck at 6.0. We are now converting that speed back into altitude. Keep an eye on my surroundings. There's an SK-60, another enemy jet, which is coming this way. I don't want to mess with him right now. There's the kill on the J21. Fire has consumed him. And we're extending a little bit because there's also the F2G, and I don't want to be in a 2 vs 1 situation. Friendly FRU coming in, so now this is looking more favorable. SK-60 has pulled into the vertical, which means he has lost a lot of speed because this thing doesn't have the most powerful engines. let's see if I can intercept him here. Oh, he notices me. Still get a crit in. Might be able... Nope, no. This is something you should not actually be doing in the 162. But I am greedy for that kill, and I am gonna get it. There it is, heavy damage. And now we just put her into a shallow dive and build up speed. I'm now less than 600 km per hour. This is not a situation I want to be in. So we're just pulling out and build up more speed. Again, you want to have at least 600 km per hour and preferably some altitude so you can put the 162 into a dive should an enemy be coming for you. F7F might have a shot at him. I do have plenty of teammates surrounding me, so I'm feeling pretty safe here. But that F7F is gonna die before I can reach him. Yeah. Look at that, he has 3 jets on him and an F4U. Yeah, he's dead. So again, okay, no problem. We have built up enough speed to re-enter the fight. But there are no enemies in our vicinity. So only have 24 rounds of ammunition remaining, so we are gonna go for a reload. This thing is armed with two 20mm MG 150-120 20mm cannons, which are some of the best in game because of their Minengeschoss ammunition. But with only 120 rounds per gun, you do run out of ammunition quite quickly. So long deflection shots are not the 162's forte. You do want to get in fairly close, get your shots off, and then preferably bug out. One thing the 162 really excels at is hunting for enemy attackers. Stuff like AD4s, AD2s, AM1s, or even Corsairs that go for ground targets. They are easy prey for the 162, because as you can just look how quick I am on the deck in a straight line. Most enemy attackers you will face are already at low altitude, so you can just wander around, dart in, get the shots off, and dart out. And when they are heavily loaded with missiles and bombs, they are very easy targets. And I am buzzing my fellow 162 player here. Woo! I could just land here on the forward airfield, but I am gonna go for the main airfield because it has the AA protection, and I don't want to be caught by an enemy player that is going for aircraft on the ground. So back to the main airfield. It's not that far away anyways, and I do have the fuel. So we're gonna go for a quick reload there. Now 162 coming in for a landing. And just here you just saw how quickly this thing can build up speed in a dive. And this is what I mean by always maintain some level of altitude, because it does come in handy. Slowing her down below 400 km per hour, got the gear out. If you're landing your 162, try to get as slow as possible, because the brakes on this thing are absolutely awful. It takes forever to slow down. Just look how long it takes. It doesn't really have that. It doesn't have very powerful brakes. And if you're coming in at like 300 km per hour, or even higher, there's a decent chance you might outrun the runway. But we have landed. Going in for a quick reload, shouldn't take long. I have a fully aced crew on this one. Yeah, look at that, less than 10 seconds. And we should be up in the air. Now, what you're gonna see now, let's talk a little bit about the engine of the 162. It is powered by the BMW 003 engine. And this is an early jet engine, which means it takes a while to spool up. It doesn't provide a lot of thrust at low speed, but provides high thrust at higher speeds. Which means the 162 takes quite some time to get airborne, and does not react very well to power shifts at low speed at all. So low speed dogfighting should be avoided at all costs. That said, the 162 is fairly maneuverable. You are able to stay in turns for 1 or 2 turns with some of the less agile super props, stuff like the Hawker Tempest, for example. I have had fights where I actually out-dogfought a Tempest. It can be done with careful use of flaps and checking on your energy state, but this just is not really the 162's forte. This thing wants to come in at high speed, get a few shots off, preferably knocking the aircraft out of the sky, and then just dart out. No fancy maneuvers, just pure speed. This thing is basically like an American muscle car. You do not go into the corners, you just go straight. And if you keep that in mind, and most of all, don't panic when someone is on your 6, the 162 is basically a present that keeps on giving. There's a P-51 up there. He's following that friendly ME-262, and I'm not in the best position. I am currently building up speed. I'm telling the 262 to lure that P-51 down. That way it makes it easier for me to engage him. Because as long as he maintains the altitude advantage, and I'm pretty sure that's a P-51H, this will be a bit difficult. I do have enough altitude that should he come for me, I can just put this thing into a dive and I'll outrun him. But preferably I want to get a drop on him and take him out. There's a friendly 162 who is committed to that P-51. So I do have support. P-51, I assume he's fixed in that ME-262, but he actually notices me. And I am not following into his turn. Instead, I'm level out, build up the speed, convert that speed back into altitude to re-engage. Maneuvers in the 162 should be limited to vertical maneuvers, since you can use the build up altitude to convert it back into speed. Again, the 162 lives and dies by its speed. P-51 coming for me actually. He does have a very powerful engine, so he can hang into that climb quite for some time. So I'm turning in, and he's dropped out of that climb, and he's now on such low energy that with use of flaps I can cut inside his turn. And look at that! Look at that! Oh my god! That felt good. And this is basically this is also possible because the 162 has a fantastic, absolutely fantastic roll rate and aileron control, even at high speed. That is kill number 4, I think. And we are building up more altitude, again 1500 meters at least, and go for our next target. We do have plenty of ammunition, plenty of fuel left. I would advise you to take less than 20 minutes of fuel, because most matches don't last that long, and it keeps your aircraft light. And the 162 is an aircraft that certainly profits from that, because it is not a very heavy aircraft in the first place. I think it weighs like it weighs less than 3 tons. It was a very light aircraft, particularly by late war standards. And speaking of late war, the 162 is an aircraft that I feel is just, both in game and in historic terms, is misunderstood. It never really had the chance to truly shine because it came so late and had problems with quality control and inexperienced pilots. But design-wise, it was actually pretty solid. Just never really had the time to shine. Eric Brown, a famous British test pilot, actually liked this thing quite a bit. So we had 4 kills. P-51H is coming for us, and now that build-up altitude comes in handy. Look at that. Look at how quickly I am building up speed. I'm leaving that P-51 in the dust. Look at that. 900 km per hour. He has absolutely no chance of catching me. So I just go straight and allow that friendly 162 to slot in behind him. Maybe he is able to knock him out. Spoiler, he won't. And this is gonna demonstrate what sets apart a good 162 player from someone. I don't want to call him bad because that would be rude. Maybe he just had a bad game, but he's gonna make a few mistakes that will cost him. First of all, look at that. He's turning in the horizontal. P-51 actually doesn't turn, so I mean the choice to go after him is it's okay. But he has lost a lot of speed in that horizontal turn, and now he's gonna do it again. P-51 turns, I evade him, and instead of going straight and building up more speed, he decides to turn with the 51, which is something you shouldn't do. I use the speed to get more altitude, again trying to bait him so the 162 can knock him out, but he unfortunately misses his shots. I yo-yo around, reposition myself a little bit, try to get some shots in, and the 51 is on the 162's tail because the friendly 162 just lost too much speed in those maneuvers, and the 51 is gonna shoot him down. Trying to aid him, try to get to knock him out, but unfortunately he knocks out the friendly. But now he's at so low speed, I'm easily able to get the shot on him, and that's 5 kills. And I just noticed the friendly guy's name was Jeffrey Jetstein. That's freaking amazing. That name is fantastic. But unfortunately I couldn't save him in time. But hey, kill's a kill, 5 kills, ace in 1 flight. There's only 1 enemy left, and that's a P-51 there. Unfortunately, we are not gonna be able to get to him. He's in all sorts of trouble. But yeah, would you look at that? This was a full up tier, and I came out top of the leaderboard with 5 kills. Would you look at that? Well, and I would say with these sort of results, that's it for today. And I will see you in the next one.